Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you player ratings from yesterday's magnificent 3-2 win over Camel United. I'm still absolutely buzzing. I am still on flying form. It's Monday, and I don't even have the Monday blues purely because Tottenham are giving me that winning feeling. I'm absolutely loving life. Jack, my man, who are you keeping?
No Monday blues for me either, David. No Monday blues for me either. Maybe because we also won on the Lord's Day as well. You probably would say on a holy day. It only means that it's going to be a holy week for Tottenham Hotspur, Dave. And, might as well then just honor these absolute majestic gods, these absolutely majestic players that I would say a lot of them do deserve fantastic player ratings, because at the end of the day, they can only beat what's in front of them. And so, as per usual on this channel, we're going to give you very much, some probably very nice ratings, but feel free again, anybody that's in the chat to give your ratings to every single player that we discuss, because we love the engagement and we love doing the back and forth. But let's get this going, Dave.
No, look, let's get into it. Look, some of the player ratings from my behalf, they might be a bit, one-sided just purely because I'm on that winning feeling. Feel free to keep me grounded and down to earth. But guys, as always, we want you to give your player ratings too. We want you to put your player ratings in as we're talking about the player, and then we'll gauge it off that. But look, let's welcome some of the Harris Army in. We have Chris here, says, big up David and Jack. What a good day this has been. Yeah, look, I'd say you enjoyed yourself in work today, my man. Of course, living up there in the town. I'd say you definitely had fun today in work. Look, I actually hope you walked in with the tea towel around your head with the missus's headband around it. That's what I hope, Chris. I hope you really enjoyed it, my man. Big yourself up.
Big up, Chris. Yeah. I hope he brought a laundry hamper to work and just said, listen, guys, I can do a couple of loads for your tea towels in case, the missus are mad at you. That's what I would say. But big yourself up, Chris. Love the banter, because I know he's just dealing it and wheeling it right now.
100%. You can imagine him. He was probably there 10 minutes early today. You know what I mean? Strutting in, sitting at his desk with tea, waiting for everybody to come in. Big up, Chris. Dermot, big yourself up. Tottenham Tantrum says, if there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you going to call? The Irish Hotspur and Jack with all the stats. Big up, guys. You both are legends. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, brother. Dermot, I hope things are well. I love that, my man. Big up, Adam. I hope you're feeling better, brother. He says, I'd give most of the players above a 7 rating, and Dier gets a 3. Yeah, well, look, 100%. I think I'd agree with you there. Dan N says, lunchtime Irish Hotspur stream. I love it. Yeah, look, we're going to try and provide more content, more little shorter shows and stuff like that as well with what we're already doing. Why not go hard or go home? That's what they say. So look, let's see how it pans out, Dan N. But big yourself up. Thank you for tuning in, my man. Claude Murphy says, big up, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, Claude.
Let us know what was for lunch as well, Dan N. Let us know what was for lunch or what is for lunch as well. Maybe what you enjoy the Irish Hotspur with. Maybe that $1 ramen that you turn into a $13 one, but big yourself up, Dan N. Big yourself up.
Yeah, what a man. Big yourself up, Dan N. Claude Murphy also says, David and Jack, respect. Always enjoy the show. Big yourself up, Claude. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate the kind words. The regulars in the building says, happy about the win. Come on, you Spurs. Still buzzing, my man. Still on cloud 9. Golden's Cock says, come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Big yourself up. D-Trex Kane is in the house. Says, Harry Kane, King of London. Love the guy. You see the difference when we don't play the Deadwood. I hope Nuno learns with Dier. I hate the guy. He's so crap. Look, Kane is back. Look, I think everybody knows Kane is back. Look, I predicted it was going to happen yesterday. Look, I just predict these things. That's what I do, And look, yeah, look, this is something, D-Trex, that I've been saying, way long ago. When I first started going on with our Tottenham TV, before I even had my own channel, was about certain players that we would never get anywhere with. These guys, they have to go. We can't even have them as backup. And look, thankfully now they're going and we're starting to see some results, my man.
I sometimes even D-Trex, I forget what Eric Dyer's name is sometimes because David's been calling him Moon Boots for so long. I actually sometimes forget his name. I find myself in other channels calling him Moon Boots, and I'm like, oh, that's right. They don't call him that over here. It's actually kind of hard. It's like a nickname, for someone that you just can't get out of your head.
I love it. Tango Bin Al Sheed says 3, 2. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. I know you just love the way I say 3, my man. I know you do. Look, I'll say it again. I'm making your day. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Any more times, I don't mind doing it, lad. Just let me know. Rory AG says the Newcastle game is why I love Ndombele. Look, I'm actually going to blow people's minds in about 20 minutes when we get on to my am. I'm going to say something that I seen earlier on, and I'm not messing. I nearly fell off my chair and spat my tea out. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Chris saying he did. I was going to wear a tea towel, but my missus banned me. I wouldn't blame her, man. I wouldn't blame her.
There's a big tea towel shortage, Chris. That's why. That's what she realized. She said, there's a big shortage out there, and she knew that you wouldn't be able to get it back. So, she's smart. She's just saving you from disaster, Chris. She's just saving you from disaster.
Cody Mack says, what's up, guys? When's the main event versus We Are Tottenham TV? Yeah, look, whenever they want it, Cody, I think they're running a bit scared right now. I think they're going to delay it to kind of get some practice in. They know how good we are. They know how good we are, Cody. So, look, I sent them on an email. If they do want to avail of my finishing school, of my passing school, of Jack's skill school, no problem. Look, willing to give them a discount. All they have to do is let me know. But, guys, every stream they do, make sure you get in there, and just say you can't handle what the Irish Hotspur is about to bring. That's what I want to see. Don't worry.
I'm seeing a Germany-Brazil. I'm seeing Germany-Brazil outcome. Might be a bit scary, Dave. We might have to start going kind of nice on them because we don't want, we don't want the fallback. It might be 5-1, 6-1. It might be a bit scary.
No, I definitely will. But Cody, we're going to try and bring it to you this week, my man. I know you're absolutely dying for it. Big hope, Aaron Dove. Good to see you in the building. 10s all around, isn't that right, Harris? Do you know what? 10s. Well, no, not 10s. I'd say 9s, 8.5s, definitely 100%, Aaron. Good to see you, my man. I hope things are well with you, brother. Long time no see. Good to have you back in after the international break. Cuba99, my man. Still can't get that joke out of my head from yesterday. I've been giggling all day. This is evening on. I hope your airways are nice and clear now, David. As clear as could be, my man. As clear as could be. Do not worry about my airways, man.
Clear by the
day.
Always
good. They're always good. Jan Tran says, you cannot say he is back yet unless he meets a difficult team. Man, well, I am saying it. So that's the realization of it. Look, at the end of the day, he is back. You have to realize this goal. I think he has 8 or 10 goals already. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, he's only scored 1 in the Premier League, but he's been scoring in all the other competitions, the Carabao Cup, the Europa Conference League. So he is back. Trust me, he is back. Look, you will see. Time will tell. But never doubt him. Never ever doubt him. Ever. But look, Jack, let's get into it. Let's start smashing out some of these player ratings. As always, guys, make sure you get your player ratings in. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel if you are new. And look, why not help support the channel with a super chat too? It's a great way to help support me and Jack on the journey to try and be the best there is if we'll ever get there. But look, Jack, let's take it away.
Taken away with Hugo Lloris, who to a degree did not have a lot to do. I mean, I would say the Callum Wilson, goal that they scored, don't think he could have done a lot about it. It was right across the 6-yard box, near post, I think as well. So it is just kind of difficult to save those. Apart from that, Dave, I think whoever said it, I think it was Philip from last night, he practically could have kicked out a deck chair or a lawn chair and, just maybe even waved to the crowds, even could have done a few laundry, kind of a few laundry cycles of the tea towels, along with, plenty of other of us, who are being so nice, the Newcastle fans. I would say he didn't have too much to do. And there are certain moments when he, probably looked a bit bored out there. But at the same time, I would say, because of maybe the leadership qualities that I do see at times, he does a very good job, doing that motion at times, Dave. He does a good job at also maybe distributing at times. I give him a 7. Maybe that's being too nice. Probably just give him a 6. But yeah, I'm giving him a 7.
No, look, I think 7 is fair, to be honest with you. Look, there was one point, Jack. I remember him rising into the sky like a phoenix, plucking that ball out of the air. Honestly, his phone, like Paratici's phone was off the chain, lad. NFL clubs were ringing him and like, look, can we take him as a receiver? It just, the way he can just jump and catch that ball, it's unbelievable.
Long arms too, yeah.
He does. He's beautiful. He's such a beautiful French man. But I think 7 is fair. Everyone else, let us know what you think with you guys. 7 fair.
Yeah, I think, but not too much else, apart from that I think we need to discuss. We've moved on to Romero though, and also Chris. That is true. That needs to be a hashtag. Where's my tea towel gone? Needs to be trending in Newcastle. That needs to be trending. But Christian Romero, Dave. I mean, we gave him an 8 just because the guy just all he loves is defending. Like we said, the one person he probably cheat on is maybe a clean sheet with his misses. The guy really probably is quite disappointed to not get that clean sheet, maybe even disappointed to practically be defending alongside someone that was a bit of a handicap towards him. I just thought he was immense, especially at moments when, players are holding it up on the sideline. He's probably just, holding himself back from throwing them into the stands. Romero, he seems so incredibly, just willing to get stuck in all over the pitch. And that's what I love about him as well. He's maybe proving that he can be quality in a back four. Again, it's only Newcastle, I understand, but he is starting to show that he's getting a bit more comfortable, a bit more confident. He has that Viking mentality like a lot of players like Skipp and Hojbjerg in this side. I don't know. I just love Romero. He had a few fantastic pings, not too many, but he also had some decent pings. I think more than Eric Dier did, if I remember. I love Romero, Dave. Like I love Tottenham Hotspur, great saying over here. I love Christian Romero, and I'm never going to doubt this guy, maybe unless he proves me wrong. But I think he's been immense, and I think he deserved an 8, maybe nothing more. To a degree, I kind of thought the goal that even we conceded, the first goal to Callum Wilson, was a bit more on Eric Dier's fault than it really was on Christian Romero. He probably just thought, why is my defender here not helping me out? Because it was like a mid-rift, kind of height cross, and Eric Dier just wasn't there to, be clearing it up at the near post. I guess Christian Romero somehow expected to, sprint across the entire near post and clear it for him, which just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I'd give him an 8.
Yeah, look, I think it is a fair rating, to be honest with you, Dak, and that's the rating I give him as well. Look, I think his passing was phenomenal yesterday. His passing range is exquisite for a centre-back. Talk about just replacing Toby's passing ability just with one player. Absolutely brilliant. But, Jack, what I love about this guy, it's how proactive he is. And I seen it again yesterday, It's going back to stuff you were taught when you're 5, 6 years old as a defender. Go and meet the ball. Don't wait for the ball to come and meet you. You go and meet the ball. And this guy, he that's what he does. This guy, he loves clean sheets that much. He will be sponsored by a washing detergent company. He will be. It has to happen. It has to happen. Look, this guy, I don't think he done much wrong yesterday. And Jack, what I love most is he loves a tackle. He absolutely loves a tackle. And for me, I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Look, okay, he had that one slip up for the goal, for the Callum Wilson header. I think maybe he probably should have went and got it. He did get caught ball watching, I think. But look, after that, he didn't let the mistake affect him like Dier did, because straight after Dier's mistake, he pinged a long pass straight into the Newcastle stand. But with Romero, he composed himself. And, so for me, I think LA is a fair rating. I think it's a brilliant rating.
Maybe, we have a lot of Dons, maybe mentioned around this. Don is a laundry detergent brand over here. David, it is DAWN. We could call him that. Maybe we could call him Arm & Hammer, which is another great brand over here. But I agree with that, David. Just whatever laundry detergent is out there, I would say you certainly have a fantastic sponsor. And look at that beautiful face as well, in Christian Romero. I think it's just the best kind of sponsor that he could get. And as well, David, maybe even toss in maybe a sheet sponsor as well, maybe an Egyptian sheet, just because you'd be in good hands. But we now move on to Moon Boots here. I mean, like I said, maybe in the watch along, Dave, I thought Reguilon's own goal was one of the greatest own goals I've ever seen, just in terms of just kind of fluke, kind of own goals. Like the guy was facing the other way and somehow finished it from behind him with an outside the boot finish. This one, I don't know how you could even be kind to him at all. Some of the commentary I even heard was like saying, oh, he didn't really know where the ball was. Maybe someone kind of, knocked him off, but it's like, how on earth do you finish it off your knee from like almost 12 yards out, 14 yards out? I mean, it just doesn't make sense, David. I mean, yeah, Marcelo's in the chat here. Big yourself up, Marcelo. He's just spamming the threes. Yeah, Marcelo, we're trying to be a bit fair here. I think, a 3 is actually fair. I'm not even kidding. I think a 3 is fair, maybe even a 0. But Marcelo, as we all know, the greatest and hardest I've ever laughed. The greatest and the hardest I've ever laughed was our season player ratings from last season. And Marcelo, it's hard to get any of these players above a 1 with this guy. That's what I'd say. Probably Moon Boots, I would say maybe a -5. A -5, maybe we'll change it, Dave. Probably should be a minus there.
Look, for me, first goal, he was marking space. He could have went to try and block off the cross. He didn't. Could have put himself in a position to be able to clear it before it got to Callum Wilson. He didn't. That own goal, honestly, what a pylon. What a lump of timber this guy is. Honestly, Jack, he couldn't sort his body out. His legs were this way. His body was that way. And his head was like 360 degrees the other way, or 180 degrees the other way. It was absolutely shocking. I couldn't understand what he was doing. I didn't know whether he wanted to knee the ball, kick the ball, or head the ball. And he done, in the end, it just bounced off him, bounced off his knee and went in. Absolutely shocking. But then straight after that, you're thinking, okay, mistakes happen, compose yourself. What does the Welly do? Absolutely balloon one. Straight back to Newcastle. Straight back to them. Come and attack us straight away, guys, after conceding a goal. Yeah, unbelievable stuff.
Multiple times, though, as well, Dave. He would take like 4 or 5 touches on the ball as well, like, holding it. When we saw Romero pinging it left and right, just with moon boots, like, it's just there multiple times. It's like, how much time do you want on the ball? Like, you're not Tanguy or anything like that. Like, it was just shocking. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, it was just shocking. Look, he was the only one that didn't come out ready. He was lethargic. He was, like you said, taking 5, 6 touches on the ball, sometimes 2 or 3 just to get it under control. And no wonder we went to goal down. And no wonder it comes down his side of the defense again. Because he just doesn't come out right for games. And then he doesn't end games right as well. How many times have we seen Dier give away goals in the last couple of minutes of games and stuff like that? The guy needs to learn how to stay switched on. Now, look, don't get me wrong. There were some good things he done. He didn't actually have an awful lot to do. There was some okay things he done. But look, he's not the partner for Odin. He is not the partner for Romero. He is not the partner for me. Look, I think 5 is fair. I think 5 is a fair rating.
It's almost being too fair. And that's why, last time when I did the player ratings, I was being way too generous. And I think that's completely fair. And then this time we're trying to be a bit more level-headed about it. But maybe this is the one that we got wrong. I think it could be a bit lower, if you ask me. I think he gave up both goals. So actually, we could have been, maybe a bit harsher on him. But moving on, we're going to Reguilon here. I will say to Eric Dier, as a human being, he's a world-class human being, because you can tell, like we said in the watch-along, it is someone, David, that it's been spoken about. And I think I mentioned it in the watch-along as well as Marcelo mentioned it, but someone that, you can find yourself freezing up in situations like that. You can find yourself not knowing what to do. You see someone's life is in danger. You can't really make sense of it all. And he is a man of action in that regard. He is a man of action. And I think he deserves his respect as a human being. As a defender, the guy is absolutely useless and appalling. But, as a human being, he saved a man's life. And I think, all jokes aside, world-class human being too. World-class human being, world-class human being, because he's a man of action and, he knows what to do in the moment. And that's a trait that I think a lot of us would like to say that we have. But I promise you, it only comes in so many, because a lot of us, including myself, I'd like to think would kind of freeze up in that moment.
No, look, credit where credit's due, right? He got to the guy with the defibrillator. He helped save a life. But at the end of the day, that's not something we normally expect from anybody at a football game.
It's not why he's starting.
So we're talking about a footballer here. We're talking about a footballer who gets to play, paid to play footballer. So that's what I'm going to analyze. And as a footballer, he's non-existent right now. Look, I get it. He fights for the team. He does have the passion for the club and he loves the club. But look, so do I. So does Harry Winks. It doesn't mean we're good enough to play for Tottenham, does it? So look, for me, a 5 at the end of the day. I don't care. I'm not wavering on that. He's getting a 5.
I think we could be harsher in that as well.
But it's the truth. Like, he needs to buck up.
Yeah, really well said, actually, David. Sergei Reguilon, I thought he was immense. Really, Dave. Like, and again, someone who not only also saved a man's life, but also was fantastic on the football pitch as well, And again, I think to this day, David, he still has by a country mile the most goal-creating actions in our entire side. He has been to a degree when it comes to where we get our goals from. It is Reguilon that plays the pass to the goal. He's the guy that plays, the assist. I think he has the most assists, if I'm not mistaken, in our squad as well. Reguilon so far, I want him to continue on these performances. I feel like there are, plenty of doubters for good reason, because the guy can get caught out defensively. I do understand that. But going forward, he's really proven himself this season. And if he continues to do that, I think there will be a lot of people, singing Reggie's name from the stands as well. Though he's very much a team player, and I think that's come through a bit, especially when Harry Kane, scored his goal, Dave. He was the first guy to be right up to Harry Kane, embracing him, giving him that good shove, to wake him up and just say, listen, I finally got your Premier League goal, my man. And then as well as with Tanguy, he also was the one to embrace Tanguy on his goal. He just seems to be a team player, someone that everybody likes in the squad. That's what I like about Reggie, and I love him as well. And I just think, an 8.5, a lot of people are even saying man of the match, so maybe it could be a bit higher than that. But, Reggie, again, another assist and just fantastic ability to, to cross it into the box. He never has to play it in the air sometimes. He actually plays it on the floor quite well as well.
Yeah, look, Reguilon I actually thought was immense down that left-hand side, but he has been for the last few games, though, to be fair, Jack. He offers a great threat down that side. And I know people say about him defensively, but I actually think he's actually worked on that this season. I think it happens a hell of a lot less people cutting inside him than what used to happen. You look against Man City, it only happened once with Mahrez in the first game of the season. Look how many times it happened last season, So I think he is improving on that. But going forward, look, he had the composure, played the ball inside to Ndombele for his goal. He got the assist. And I think he works incredibly hard. I actually really like this guy. I really like Reguilon. I thought he was a menace down that left-hand side. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He was driving down. Look, I'm just waiting for him to get his goal. Jonjo Shelvey took him down when I thought he was in, He took him down when I thought he was in, and I thought Jonjo Shelvey would let him go because he was already on a yellow. It didn't work out that way. And, yeah, look, he also got Jonjo Shelvey sent off yesterday, So you have to admire him. You have to admire him. And for me, I think an 8.5 is a fair rating. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, I think that was a very fair rating, but to plenty of people, it was a man of the match, which I can see where they're coming from. I really can, and hopefully he can build on these, and he will get that man of the match, and he will get that respect that to a degree he probably deserves at a certain rate. Moving on to Emerson, I don't think by any means Emerson played poorly at all, but I just don't think he was as good as Reguilon, and so maybe we have to make a bit of a differential between the two. I think Emerson is really proving himself. I think I'm loving seeing the competition between the two guys, between Tanganga and him. He's really fighting for that spot, Emerson. I feel like he's looking great. It's just maybe to a degree, it's just kind of a casual, normal performance from him. Going up against Joe Linton, who we saw, David, and we pointed out in the watch-along, everybody on that Newcastle team, as much as they could, tried to ping it to Joe Linton to win down some knockdowns. And Joe Linton was their best player, you might say, that match. And to a degree, I think Emerson did his best to try to marshal him. I would give him a 7.5, if not maybe a bit higher, but maybe to differentiate between him and Reguilon, I'd give him a 7.5, maybe a 7.
Look, for me, I can see where people are kind of questioning this guy, and I've heard some say they'd rather Tanganga play it right back, and I can see that argument. But I think this guy will be a sure thing at Tottenham. I really do believe it. Look, yesterday, I actually thought he was good yesterday. The only thing I will say is that Joe Linton constantly went out to his side, was constantly holding up ball. He looked like Ibrahimovic up front there yesterday, the amount of ball he was holding up. But at the same time, I think the guy's doing a decent job. I think he's doing a good job. Yeah. They didn't really cause us too much trouble down that side, although Joe Linton held up the ball. What really came down his side? I can't remember of anything of note that really came down his side, to be fair. I actually think he's very good. He offers a lot going forward. He got forward an awful lot yesterday. He was trying to whip some crosses in, which is good. It's what Harry Kane needs. And look, for me, I think a 7.5, I think is a fair rating.
Yeah, maybe a 7 is I think a 7 is probably the most fair rating when you think about it. But at the same time,
but we won't
comments saying that he's whatever word, and it's just like saying he's crap and like things like that. I just think it's just so far off. I think the guy really hasn't put too much of a foot wrong this season. And also as well, he gets stuck in the right moments as well. I do think he gets stuck in the right moments, especially around his box, David. When someone does get close to his box, he actually does do a very good job about not letting them through. He doesn't really get beaten too much. He also as well, he can recover quite well with pace. And to a degree, I kind of agree that the La Liga antics, kind of come through. But I think Marcelo would back me up here and say it also sometimes comes at the right time because, he knows maybe when to go down and, he knows how to win a free kick. And, even in La Liga, he won some of the most free kicks other than any other fullback in La Liga. And he won the most penalties more than any other fullback in La Liga last season as well. I think he won a few penalties. So the guy is just actually quite decent, I think, going down at the right time. And to a degree, I kind of love that kind of shithousery.
He's finding his feet, Jack. That's all it is. He is just finding his feet. Once he gets used to the Premier League, this guy will be absolutely flying. And Marcelo makes a good point, and I'm just going to add to it. He says, I felt Lucas should have helped him more. Now, we criticise this guy, right? Now, let's go back to Matt Doherty playing on right full when Gareth Bale was playing right wing and Gareth Bale doesn't track back. Look how awful Matt Doherty is compared to how Emerson can handle it when Lucas doesn't track back on that side to help him. Look how Emerson can handle it compared to Matt Doherty. Everything goes in behind Matt Doherty. Same over the other side when Ben Davies plays. Everything goes down the wings. When you have Reguilon and Emerson playing, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So for me, I think it's a good point by Marcelo. And I think just before we start, really trying to pick faults with this guy, just go back to Matt Doherty. Just go remember how crap he was. What comes down this guy's side? Absolutely barely anything. Barely anything.
Yeah.
So I think we have to keep that in mind.
And I mean, look at that smile as well. He's actually, to me, he's a stunning man. He's a stunning man. So there you go. Only if he has more stunning performances, will I continue to love him more. But Ollie Skippy, I mean, again, the guy is just a rock house, Dan. He's just a brick house, in defense. He's just brilliant to watch. The guy just gets stuck in for a living. I mean, look at that jawline, Dave. Look at those guns, pulsing right there. I mean, he's just made of just concrete practically. He just seems to be such a hard tackler, such a just fantastic destroying midfielder. He does bring the best out of Hojbjerg, at times being able to cover for Hojbjerg, but as well, he's just such a rock. He's just such a rock in the midfielder. I love Skippy. Again, like a lot of these players, I love Tottenham Hotspur, Dave, and I love Ollie Skipp. And with Skipp, I just think he's absolutely brilliant.
Look, Skipp, honestly, I said it to people when this guy was coming into the team, he's just going to turn over ball left, right, and centre, and it's exactly what he does. Between him and Hojbjerg, but mainly him, they build the platform for our attacking game, They build that platform for the attacking game. But they also protect the defence a whole lot more than what was happening last season. I think Skipp has been unbelievable since he's come in. This guy has the right mentality, all the right attributes to go to the very top. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the England team before the season's out, to be honest with you, making his debut. Yesterday, I thought he was absolutely superb. I actually think the work that he done yesterday went severely under the radar. Not many people talking about it. He turned over ball left, right, and centre. And when he turns it over, he gives it to the right people to make things happen. His decision-making is absolutely quality as well. I thought he had a very good game yesterday, and I agree with you. I would go on 8.5.
Yeah, and then maybe we can move on to the next midfielder then in that case where with Hojbjerg, I thought also maybe an 8.5. Probably, I think he also had the most tackles won, if I'm not mistaken, for us as well. He had the most touches on the pitch, and he also had that fantastic assist, to set up our boy Harry Kane. I mean, there's nothing you can, I mean, even some people described, I think I've heard, which I think is very, very lovely to hear. They described it as like a Glenn Hoddle kind of like pass. And into Harry Kane. So Hojbjerg, he's just proven the haters wrong. I love Hojbjerg as well. I don't even know if I have much else to say apart from him just being continually brilliant for us. He's trying to settle into that tempo setter kind of role, David, alongside Skippy, kind of being that guy that can, play that pass when needed, also get forward when needed. I just think Hojbjerg is just a solid rock as well. And honestly, him and Skippy go together like bread and butter.
Yeah, it's just, look, if one jumps off a bridge, the other one has to go and climb a skyscraper. They just constantly outdo each other, Jack. It's phenomenal to see the two of them working there. People are really sleeping on this partnership in midfield. They're not nice to play against. Some of these fancy lands in midfield who want the ball under control, time to look up, look good. They're not getting any of it with these two guys in midfield. Hojbjerg's pass for Harry Kane yesterday is what's been lacking at Tottenham. What we don't have at Tottenham is someone that and we haven't actually had it for a long time, to be fair. Even under Pochettino, I don't think we had it. But someone that can play that defense splitting pass from deep in the midfield. And Hojbjerg has proven to me he can do that. That was a fantastically weighted ball over the top for Harry Kane. It was unbelievable. And look, another one that just goes about his work. He gets stuck in. He's a leader on the pitch. He's a commander. He's a general. His passing ability, I actually think, is very underrated. I think he's been mentioned there with his passing so far this year. He's getting a lot better at keeping the ball as well, I have to say. And he's allowed to get a bit further forward at times, and it really suits him. He is crucial to what we're doing here at Tottenham Hotspur right now. And I think the rate, I'll give him an 8.5, if not maybe a 9, but I'd stick with the 8.5.
More chances created than most other midfielders. If you compare, the position Hojbjerg plays, practically has more chances created than the rest of those like top level midfielders. And so I just think Hojbjerg, I love him. He's just brilliant to watch. He simply is. But I know, David, you have a very, very interesting factoid for this one. This is going to be our man of the match. I am going to kind of spoil it. It is Tanguy Ndombele. I thought Tanguy Ndom sucks ball. Tanguy Ndom bad boy. I had dreams of some of what he was doing last night, David. It really did. It just was sensational to watch, especially, I will say, thank God it was kind of, a neck or maybe a waist up kind of a watch along yesterday because, I had to clean myself up more than once after the performance that he had. He was actually that sensational. And I don't know. I mean, Tanguy, again, when we see performances like that, you just start to see where the world class, kind of associations come from, because the guy is just honestly stupid on the ball. He is so ridiculous sometimes. He's the coolest man in the building when he wants to be. And then as well, just the ability alone is just ridiculous at times. His first touch was immense the whole match. The way he just embarrasses players for fun. I don't know. I don't even know if he put a foot wrong. I really don't. It was that great a performance.
Everybody hold on to your chairs, please. I'm going to tell you something now that I never thought I'd ever see in the same sentence, which is running and Ndombele. Ndombele had the highest running stats out of anybody yesterday on that field. Anybody. He topped the running stats yesterday. Unbelievable. Most distance covered. Ran more than anybody else. Absolutely incredible work from Ndombele yesterday. I agree, man of the match. Just even the first yellow that Shelby got, that Tanguy made him get. Sun back heels it. Tanguy does a few passes. It passes it inside. It looks like someone clipped his knee. He's hanging his knee up in the air like he's a bit injured. The ball comes back to him. He just controls it, slows it down. And then, he's just unbelievable.
Even he juked the cameraman on that as well, Dave. Yeah. Even the cameraman, got faked.
Honestly, when this guy finishes football, Dancing on Ice are going to give this guy a ring to come on and do it, because, honestly, this guy was just sending people for pizzas left, right, and center. Jack, it's like, okay, go and have a pepperoni. Yeah, go and have a hot and spicy. All these step overs he was doing. It was unbelievable, Jack. He was immense yesterday. He also set the tempo of the game, especially in the second half. Completely controlled it, getting on the ball. Quicking it up at times when it needs to be quickened up, slowing down when it needs to be slowed down. And I thought it was excellent. And for a guy that could not complete 90 minutes without guzzling water up until yesterday, I have to say, absolutely unbelievable to see that he topped the running stats yesterday. And hopefully it's a platform that this guy can build on. I've been a huge critic, and rightly so. I don't think we should be waiting 2.5 years to see a performance like that from our record signing. It should not be happening. But now he's built the foundation to build on. He's proved how good he actually can be. Now let's see it on a more consistent basis from the guy. But man of the match, 100%. Look, he scored. He took his goal absolutely beautiful. The way he used the defender to curl it in and around him, to make it hard for the keeper to get to, was absolutely.
Keeper couldn't even dive for it, Dave. He didn't even know where the ball was. He's probably still looking for it. Probably still. He just. Yeah, he just couldn't even react to it, and that just speaks to the finish. Really does. It got me out of my seat completely, and it was just so relieving to see him do it. Also, to a degree, quite humble celebration, because also as well, Dave, he knew the job wasn't done when he finished it. He was, he kind of embraced Reguilon, and then he just said, like always, he does that motion where he's like, we got to continue on, pick it out, as David liked to say. He just said, pick it out. We got to move on here. But honestly, Tanguy, well done, my son. Well done, brother. Absolutely brilliant job. But son Heung-min, Sonny, 8.5, brilliant, team player, brilliant workhorse as well. Was able to follow up on that finish with the beautiful, beautiful pass across the six, or cross across the six, from Harry Kane. Sonny's just Mr. Consistent. He's Mr. Reliable, Dave. I don't know what else to say with Sonny. It's just an 8.5, and he probably will continue to be getting these, especially, when we win.
My favorite part about Sonny's game yesterday, Jack, was how direct he was. Every time he got the ball, he was looking to drive at them, make something happen. And it's what we want to see. Over the last couple of years, we were getting fed up of seeing our players turn back, passing it inside, shirting responsibility. Son will never, ever do that, and you can never accuse him of doing it. He picks up the ball, he drives at players, he's a nightmare. He can go outside you, he can go inside you. And yesterday, look, although I don't think yesterday was one of his best games in the Tottenham jersey, but he was direct. And against teams like that, that's what you need to be, direct. And he just, honestly, I thought he was good yesterday. He got his goal. He took his goal very well. A nice link up with Harry Kane. He had some very nice 1-2s with Harry Kane, actually. Some very nice bits of link up play. I think 8.5 is very fair.
Yeah, I do think it's very fair, and like that's what I was thinking about Sonny's performance. It wasn't his best performance, but by no means is it at all like an average performance, and that's what makes Sonny so ridiculous. Is his performances are just so solid, David, just so consistent and so consistently strong as well. And so I think we're just going to continue to be giving him the 8.5s, the 8s, the 9s, the 9.5s. So he's just Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent. But we move on to the Don, Dave, and I might just let you take this one away. If we gave him a 9, and for good reason, a goal and an assist, maybe break us down.
Just beautiful performance yesterday. Look, goal and assist. I think it was the Aston Villa game. He could have came out with a goal and 2 assists as well. You know what I mean? It didn't turn out on that day. We didn't take our chances. He didn't take his. But I knew it was all coming to a head. I knew he was going to score sometimes. One thing you can never accuse Harry Kane of is he will get you goals no matter what sort of shape he's in. He will score goals. Look, that ball over the top was perfect for Harry Kane. It's what he needs. When he makes these runs, feed him. Feed him. It was a beautiful ball, but it was even the way he could have finished that earlier. He could have struck that earlier, but he waited. He delayed. He slowed himself down, steadied himself, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. As soon as the keeper came charging out, he was okay, I'm just putting it over you. Beautiful finish. He constantly made runs in behind. He was constantly trying to link up with play. You cannot say he looked disinterested yesterday. It's just good that Harry Kane is back. His assist yesterday, beautiful pass across the 6-yard box for Son. Absolutely beautiful, perfectly weighted. Keeper had no chance of coming out and blocking it. Defenders had no chance of blocking it. Put on a plate for Son. I thought he was absolutely brilliant yesterday. All-round game, I thought was absolutely. He was sharp yesterday. That's one thing I can't say.
Yeah, I think David, he's just didn't really put too much of a foot wrong yesterday. And as well, I think again, when we're kind of, it's just our expectations of Kane are just so high. And that's maybe, sometimes the issue is that we kind of forget, what kind of how much of a celestial he kind of is. David, he is kind of, out of this earth sometimes with how brilliant he can be. And, we kind of hold him to that level at times. We hold him to that regard. And I think with a goal and assist, especially the way he finished that from Hojbjerg's through ball, it was just beautiful to watch. And, kind of funny that, he might have thought he was offsides. It seemed like he was tracking himself alongside Manquillo and he was way on. And maybe he knew it. Maybe he did know it. I don't want to speak to it, but I just feel like, a fantastic performance from Harry Kane. And I hope to see more of it. And I also hope that we can, continue to, I don't know, David, I'll just maybe a quick, little tangent on it. We didn't see him drop back as much. We didn't see him look so kind of frustrated and maybe kind of to a degree, getting frustrated with his teammates and everything. And that's what I think made also this performance different. There was by no means, it was just a different Harry Kane out there. It really was.
And that's what happens, though, Jack. When his teammates are doing the jobs they're supposed to be doing, which is feeding them, but then, that's what you get from Harry Kane, a good performance. At the end of the day, he's only one man. He can't do absolutely everything. Look, every season this guy is being disrespected. Every season it's he's a one-season wonder, or people then it's like they're almost waiting for Harry Kane to fail, Jack. That's what it seems like to me. Every season, he's not scoring, he's doing this. Harry Kane's not the same player. Every single season. And what does he do? He does nothing. He keeps plowing away through the bad times and comes out our top scorer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he not actually our top scorer as we speak right now, this season?
Yes.
He has more than Son. He has more than Lucas. And the disrespect this guy gets, he's our top scorer right now. When you add in all competitions, this guy's our top scorer. Start putting some respect on his name. This guy is well and truly back. He's going to hit a purple patch, and no better time to hit form than when we're sitting just outside top 4 and 4 points off the top.
And the hair was looking beautiful yesterday, Dave. So fantastic job on that as well. I mean, clearly you didn't leave a hair out of place for him. But Lucas Moura, that goal, the third goal, Dave, I mean, it's just a classic, Lucas Moura run. Tanguy, gave him that pass, and the way he touched that around whatever defender or midfielder that was, it's just, Lucas Moura. Sometimes we get out of our seat, with what Tanguy does. Lucas Moura does it in more of like an old-fashioned kind of sense. He doesn't need all the step overs. He just does world-class touches and just kind of, just see however it's like he sees it in slow motion. I would say actually, Lucas, sometimes the way he does those kind of movements, and he can take on, we were talking about that with Nani Madueke. the guy just loves to take on 3, 4, 5, 6 players all at once. He has no sense of backing down, and he is brilliant. There are a lot of morosexuals out there. I'm starting to see definitely why as well. He probably a bit unlucky not to get that goal from when he had that fantastic leap from the corner. His aerial ability is ridiculous. He has the most aerial duels won in our entire team. I think that's just ridiculous for someone his age, as well as someone, also who's, of course, not really known as being a tall player. He's just brilliant. And I think that third goal, that through ball that he slipped in for Harry Kane was just insane. And also that touch that he took past him was also brilliant.
Do you know what? He was unlucky not to score yes as well. The header that rattled the crossbar from the corner kick. Smallest man in the box becomes the biggest when he jumps. Oh, absolutely unbelievable in the air. Look, this guy is just a constant menace. A constant menace. He's pulling players left, right, and centre, whether it's going inside them, outside them, whether they have to take him down. He just causes an absolute riot out there every time he plays. He's an incredible workhorse, so he is. And look, I'm glad that Lucas is starting to get the respect he needs. What I would like to see come into Tottenham is someone that will produce assists and goals on the right-hand side and maybe give Lucas a bit more of a run for his money, and you might see a bit more end product out of Lucas. But in terms of where he's at right now and the work he does, you cannot deny it. And for me, I think 8.5 is what I'm going to give him. I thought he had a very good game yesterday. Unlucky not to get his goal, I have to say. Very, very unlucky. He absolutely rattled the bar with that header, bullet header. Unbelievable. So, look, there you have it, guys. There's the player ratings. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. Put their player ratings in the chat. It's absolutely brilliant. That's what we like to see. Anybody that is watching this after, make sure you smash a like on the stream. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel. And most importantly, get your player ratings below. If there's anything you disagree with on what we said, also put it in below. Even if you want to praise us and you do agree with us, put it in the comment section below. And don't worry, I'm back to my best, so I'll be back in there mingling with you, and I'll be responding to every single comment that comes in. But guys, until later on tonight for the fan show, 9 p.m. for the fan show. So I'll see you all back there, hopefully. Thank you so much for tuning in, the Harris Army. Love you, and we'll leave you. But as always, come on, you Spurs.